Ukraine. Statistics in Ukraine show the dire situation forcing ladies to look for partners abroad. With male-to-female ratios traditionally dictating relationship dynamics in any area, the fact there are only 86 males per 100 women makes things a little tricky. The country is among the states with the largest female population in the world. Ukraine, the life expectancy for women is 76 years, whereas for men it is 66, and this is mainly attributed to alcoholism and smoking. With figures like this, 14 out of 100 women have almost no chance of finding themselves a partner within their own country. Portugal.
Women here make up 52.70% of the population. Many women of Portugal became professionals, including being medical doctors and lawyers, a leap from many being merely office employees and factory workers. The literacy rate is still lower for women compared to men.
They are also more likely to complete further education than their male counterparts, making up 58% of total graduates. 54% of doctorates in Portugal are women, and they also make up 49% of the working population. Puerto Rico. 100 women living in Puerto Rico, there were just 90 men. However, in parts of the country, including Carolina, San Juan, Arroyo, Caguas, and Loiza, that figure was even lower, ranging from between 83 to 86 men per 100 women. Drop in living males in Puerto Rico is said to be due to a reduction in the number of births, emigration, and violent deaths, which predominantly take more lives of men than women. Estonia.
Estonia, a country in northern Europe, borders the Baltic Sea and Gulf of Finland.
Estonia has the world's lowest ratio of men to women, with the capital, Tallinn, outstripping the national average.
Estonia has one of the highest literacy rate for women in the world. Estonian women are generally very intelligent and beautiful.
81 men per 100 women. Korea in the Pacific has a smaller percentage of males. However, its population is approximately 50,000. The reason behind the significant difference in numbers is said to be because Estonian women live at least 10 years longer than men, with women continuing to increase as the population ages. Estonian men bringing women from abroad into the country is causing the gap to widen further, with twice as many women as men wishing to move to Estonia. Armenia. The female-to-male ratio in Armenia has fluctuated significantly in recent years. Records show that to every 100 females, there were just 88.72 males. A surprising result given the practice of sex-selective terminations has become popular in recent years. Although women outnumber men in Armenia at present, the birth rate of girls has slowed due to patriarchal social norms that consider sons more preferable over daughters. The female population remains buoyant, however, because young Armenian men tend to travel abroad in search of work. This migration is an overwhelmingly male phenomenon, with more than 70% of migrants from Armenia estimated to be men, indicating that it's becoming a traditional male occupation. El Salvador. In representative terms, this equates to 53.08% of the population being women. Belarus. It comes as no surprise that Belarusian women are facing difficulties when finding a marital partner, with gender imbalance in their home country of epic proportions. With an aging population, an excessive drinking culture amongst males, poor diet, and permanent stress leading to heart disease, the gender discrepancy doesn't look to be changing anytime soon. It's dominating the gender ratio with 53% and the men at 47%. It's also a common demographic trend amongst Belarus's neighbors, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, Russia, and Ukraine, for the same reasons. Belarusian men have a far lower life expectancy than women, lower even than North Korean men. However, they generally treat their health with indifference, leaving families without a parent and a moneymaker. Many die before they even reach retirement age, with life expectancy occasionally dropping below 60, especially for those living in rural areas. Russia,
or the Russian Federation, is a transcontinental country in Eastern Europe and North Asia. Women in Russia make up 53.50% of the population.
There are so many free women that men became spoiled, and their behavior is not so good. It's a luck to find a man, especially older one, which is not hard drinking, abusive both verbally or physically, and making enough money for his family. Most commonly, they are not loving, not caring, and most probably even cheating, because there are a lot of free women. As far as you know, it's quite hard to make a good life in a country where everything is expensive and salary is very low. And kids and family is the first thing for women in Russia. It's the priority number one. So Russian women sometimes have to go abroad to work and make money to somehow guarantee a good life for their families.
With an aging population in comparison to the rest of the world, and a low fertility rate compared with the global average, the gender ratio in Russia and the former USSR is skewed. Older people are more likely to be female, while younger people are more likely to be male. Alcoholism is considered a serious problem in the USSR and is especially prevalent in young men, with evidence showing it's responsible for most deaths among Russian men. Women, on the other hand, have a different attitude to drinking, finding it morally unacceptable, of 81.9 men for every 100 women. The gender disproportion improved since then, but since the 90s has begun to grow again due to early mortality among men. Lithuania.
Lithuania is a country in the southernmost of Europe's Baltic states. Women are estimated to live to 79.3, whereas men live to 68.1. The gender gap is more pronounced between the ages of 30 to 40. The female population is 54% of the total population. Among all students enrolled in higher education, women amounted to 58% and 42% of men. Healthcare and social work, where women made up 86% of all employees, remained the most feminine field of activity.
Speeding and alcohol blamed for the deaths of over 700 Lithuanians per year for the last 5 years. Guadalupe. Located in the Caribbean region of the Americas, Guadalupe has been considered part of France since 1946. As such, it is given special protection and granted structural funds from Europe devoted to assisting the development of European regions. Guadalupe is made up of a collection of 8 inhabited islands. Basse-Terre and Grande-Terre are the largest of the 8 and separated by a sound. The others are Les Saints, Marie-Galante, Desirade, Saint Martin, and Saint Barthélemy. Considered one of the top 10 countries in the world which has the highest female population, women in Guadalupe outnumber men 8.9 to 10. Latvia.
Latvia is a country on the Baltic Sea between Lithuania and Estonia. Its landscape is marked by wide beaches as well as dense, sprawling forests. There are 84.8 males for every 100 females.
A high mortality rate in Latvia means it's difficult for many women to find a partner. 4.64 males per 100 females, and while more boys are born in Latvia, the balance shifts dramatically due to an early mortality rate that means there are almost 17% more women than men in the country. Men are said to be more than 4 times more likely than women to commit suicide or die in car accidents, from alcoholism, or in the workplace. Martinique. Located in the eastern Caribbean Sea, Martinique is one of 18 overseas regions of France and a part of the French Republic. As such, it's afforded the same rights and freedoms as any other member state of the European Union. Countries where women outnumber men, with just 84.5 men for every 100 women. With a significantly aging population, Martinique is popular with retirees who return to their home country, whereas the younger generation is leaving in droves, heading off to the mainland or other areas like Europe, USA, and Canada. A greater number of men than women leave Martinique, leaving a shortage of men, forcing many women to look for love elsewhere. Curacao. Situated 65 kilometers north of Venezuela in the southern Caribbean Sea, Curacao became an autonomous country within the Kingdom of the Netherlands in 2010, having been a part of the Netherlands Antilles until then. Dominated by women, with a male-to-female ratio of 84 to 100. The notable difference was mainly explained away by immigration, with predominantly women aged 30 to 60 years moving to Curacao to work. And considered one of the hottest destinations in the Caribbean for discerning travelers, the tiny tiny yet bustling island is full of life, with vibrant structures and a virtual paradise for scuba divers. Curaçao's capital, Willemstad, has a 52% female population. The city is a UNESCO World Heritage Site with its bay, known as St. Anna Bay, the largest in the Caribbean. Hong Kong SAR, China.
In southeastern China, women in Hong Kong make up 53.10% of the population. Traditionally, women in Hong Kong have been situated within the context of Chinese family and society.
Much has changed in Hong Kong over the past 50 years, with the gender ratio one such change. Back then it was relatively level. However, it has widened significantly in the past decade, with for every 1,000 females, there were 925 male, retaining its own money, passport, immigration channels, and legal system.
The figure of single Hong Kong women living alone increased to 43.8%. During the past 3 decades, women in Hong Kong have become more financially independent, assertive, and career-focused.
As many Hong Kong women are highly qualified and independent, men prefer to find a wife with lower qualifications and earning power. Nepal. Like Armenia, in Nepal, preference is given over a son rather than a daughter. This is due to a combination of socio-cultural, economic, and religious factors, with men holding most of the rights, responsibilities, and priorities. Women are considered inferior to men, with their social, economic, cultural, and political status not believed to be as important as that of their male counterpart. Although abortion was legalized, the male-to-female ratio was reported as 84.8 males per 100 females in 2020. This steady decline in the male population was years of migration, where fathers left the country in search of a better life for their families.
Aruba, a tiny Dutch Caribbean island off the coast of Venezuela, has dry, sunny weather, blonde beaches and gentle surf. Women in Aruba make up 52.50% of the population. Unemployment for women is higher than for men. Women tend to leave the labor force at an earlier age than men do. Women outnumber men in service and sales positions. The minimum wage for men and women is the same. Nevertheless, men continue to hold the more important positions. Armenia is a nation and former Soviet republic in the mountainous Caucasus region between Asia and Europe. Women in Armenia make up 53.60% of the population. Women in Armenia have been officially guaranteed gender equality since the establishment of the Republic of Armenia. This has enabled women to actively participate in all spheres of Armenian life. Armenian women have attained prominence in entertainment, politics, and other fields. Ukraine. Ukraine is a large country in Eastern Europe, known for its Black Sea coastline and forested mountains. Women in Ukraine make up 53.70% of the population. Curaçao. Curaçao, a Dutch Caribbean island, is known for its beaches tucked into coves and its expansive coral reefs rich with marine life. Curaçao's female population is 53.90% of the total population. There is a gender difference of 92 men for every 100 women. The life expectancy is 80.2 years for females and 72.4 years for men. The majority of women are in the age bracket of 15 to 64 years and experience a higher life expectancy than men.
Every 10 centurions in France, just 2 are male.